YouTube host people. It is me, the Dr. Movies, aka Jonathan. Just letting you know that like I said before, I am going to be doing my Batman, Superman crossover movie reviews. So I figure I start tonight while the movie's Batman v Superman's a week away. So I wanted to start with the very first Batman movie. Since nobody has commented if I should do the Adam West Batman, I'll save that for maybe last. But might as well do the movie versions first. So I'm going to start with Batman 1989. Yes, starring Michael Keaton, Kim Basinger, Jack Nicholson, and of course directed by Tim Burton. Now this movie came out in the summer of 1989. And we already had, this is like the big, this is like when times where comic books were big and popular and cartoons with superheroes and all that stuff. And we already had the Christopher Reeve Superman already. But, you know what, they weren't exactly as popular as a lot of people thought. I mean, everybody loved that first Christopher Reeve that Superman movie. But, you know what, it wasn't exactly the game changer for movies like these big blockbuster superhero movies. Marvel didn't really start doing movies yet, even though they kind of did, but they weren't really exactly popular. So then they decided, why not take one of the best comic books they have, Batman. Okay, so in Batman, basically, there is really no origin story to this movie. This is more of a there is an origin story to this movie. I should take that back, but it's not Batman's origin. I mean, you see him as already Batman. As the movie starts, you already see him as Batman. This movie, is more of an origin story for the Joker, played by Jack Nicholson. He's Jack Napier, a mobster trying to work his way up into the mob world. Fortunately, something happens where he falls into a vat of chemicals. Before I continue, letting you know, if you've never seen these movies, all the Batman movies, all the Superman movies, all the Nolans, they're going to be spoilers. So, like I was saying, he falls into a chemical, bleaches his whole face, all becomes white, and he ends up becoming a lunatic and calling himself the Joker. Now, at this time, Jack Nicholson was popular, was, doing movies like The Shining and all these other things. He was a good actor. And did he do the Joker right? Yeah, for what it was, because back then the Joker was more, before all the graphic novels of Batman, before we got like the Heath Ledger version, we had the comedic Joker, squirting flowers, maybe, the Joker gas, basically stuff we've seen from the original, cartoons and the original comic books. He was more crazy than psychotic. And he was crazy in this movie. So, he did things that he had to. He wanted to control the mob. So then you had Batman, who nobody knew who he was. Nobody was working with him. Nobody knew who he was. And then you had Vicky Vale come into this place, played by Kim Basinger. She was the one who wanted to go take pictures of him and find out who he is. What's this guy's motivation? And then while she's doing that, Joker has a plan. He wants to basically take over Gotham, become the big kingpin of all the mobs. And basically he does until Batman stops him, of course. Now, for a lot of reasons, I still love this movie. This movie is fun to watch. Is it outdated? Kind of, yeah. There are moments in the movie you really look at it like, wow, that's a prop. That's a prop. There, yes. That's kind of rubbery looking. But you know what? It worked. And Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne and Batman, it was fun to watch him as Batman. He really didn't, fight like the Nolan Batmans or what we're going to get so far we've seen in trailers for the Batman v Superman. So we don't have that much choreographic Batman. He moved, he fought, he did things. Didn't really do too much, but you know what? He did feel like Batman. So there are moments in this movie, like I said, I really like the action in this movie's work. The Batmobile was great. I think it's one of my favorite Batmobiles. It was good, but there are moments in this movie where I wish, as I got older, I watch it now, I realize this movie has problems. This movie does have problems. I mean, if you really watch this movie, like now as a person who loves film and you want to study it, the movie has flaws. I mean, first of all, we really don't have a backstory to Bruce Wayne in this movie. he's just some rich guy. No one really knows who he is. You know, there's a scene in the movie where Vicky Vale's like studying Bruce Wayne, trying to figure out what's his motivation for what he does. I mean, he just throws parties, you know, and all that stuff. He doesn't really seem the billionaire who runs Wayne Enterprises. They don't even mention that in the movie. They don't mention Wayne Enterprises, and then the fact that his parents were murdered in some alley. Figure people would have known that story, right? No, he's not famous for that. He's just some rich guy who lives in a mansion who likes to throw parties. And that's pretty much it. I mean, honestly, I really wish they really went into that more, but for what it was back then, I don't think people knew about origin stories right away. You know, I don't think they wanted to put that into a movie at that time. Because then down the road we end up getting it. But yeah, other than that, I mean, that's like one of the biggest flaws, just the Batman side of it. For the Joker, he has his flaws as well. I mean, Jack Nicholson to me is second best Joker, period. I have no idea how he's third, if you want to count Mark Hamill, who's the voice of Joker. But, he does have his flaws too. I mean, honestly, his motivations really seem, you know, cynical and crazy. But yet, he really doesn't really pursue it as further than that. He just wants to feel like he wants to take over Gotham. He didn't have any more bigger plans. Then he meets Vicky Vale and he falls in love with her, and it's just like, okay, kind of weird. I mean, he has a relationship in the comic books with Harley Quinn, but in that relationship, he treats her like crap. But yet he still loves her without even showing it, you know what I mean? In this movie, he's all like, oh, lovey-dovey, I want to dance with you all night long, la 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 la. I mean, come on, that's not really the Joker. The Joker wouldn't dance with some girl in the middle of in a fight with Batman. He'll probably take a crowbar and slap her with it, but honestly, no. He does. Either he's going to do something like a dance with that person to put a point to Batman and then eventually stab that person, or he'll do something to show that, you know, he's in charge with that girl. He doesn't hit her, he doesn't do any of that stuff, and that's not really the Joker's motive, you know what I mean? But yeah, he falls in love with her like, you know, whatever, and then Batman's doing his thing trying to fight him, and he's just goofing off and just dancing. I mean, you know, that's what you get for a 1989 movie. That's what it was back then. They were corny, goofy, fun movies, you know? Back then they were like, oh my god, this movie's awesome. And it is awesome. You know, the action's still great. You know, you really don't want to wink at it too, like squint your eyes and really look at it. And be like, wow, that's fake, that's fake, that's fake. It's still a fun movie to watch. I own it on Blu-ray, so it's fun to watch whenever I want to, but yeah. Okay, back then, I would probably, as a kid, if I was living back then, I probably would have graded this movie maybe a perfect 10. I rank this movie now, from a 1 to 10, I'll give it a 7. It's a good movie, but yeah, it does have its flaws. And I'm the biggest Batman fan that I know personally. Myself, I'm a big Batman fan. Everybody knows it. Who knows me personally, I'm a huge Batman fan. But watching this movie now, it just diminishes what it is for what it was. You know, as a kid, my eyes were like, oh my god, this is the first movie I saw for Batman that got me into him. And then I started watching the comic books, cartoons, the comic books, all that stuff, and I really hooked into the Batman universe stuff. So my eyes, Batman's always perfect, but you know, as time goes by, you realize certain movies don't, you know, hold up. So this movie has its moments where it holds up and it doesn't hold up, but it's still fun to watch. I recommend watching it if you've never seen it. And it, you know, gives you a sense of who Batman was. And I love Michael Keaton's Batman. He's always been great in this movie, so that's another upside. Joker's good. Does have its flaws, of course, like every other movie doesn't have flaws, right? No movie's perfect, except Star Wars. But that's a different story. But yeah, honestly, I can't recommend this movie enough. This movie's fun to watch. It's one of those movies like if you're just bored and you want to watch a superhero movie from like the olden days, that's not laughable. So just to have fun to watch. Like, that's a cool movie. Yeah, I'll watch it. Batman. Batman 1989. It's fun. It's cool. Like I said, if you're one of those people who like really nitpick at certain points, you might not like it, but for the most part, you just want to watch a fun movie from the olden days, you know, from the VHS, you know, era. That's tape, by the way. Yeah, pick it up. It's on Blu-ray now, so you guys can watch it. So yeah, pick it up. So let me know what you think. Have you ever seen Batman, the first one? You know, what was your favorite part of that movie? Mine's is when he first drives the Batmobile, you know, in the street of Gotham. That's my favorite part. But yeah, let me know. Have you ever seen it? Did you like it? Did you grow up watching this movie? And if you are out there who's a follower of me and you've seen it, like when it first came out and you're a little older, let me know what your first experience was to see it in like the big screen. I mean, I know they have like, you know, anniversaries for it. I think they just had one a couple of years ago. I would love to see it again, maybe in the big screen one day, but who knows. So let me know what you think, and thank you for watching this review. Stay tuned for the other ones. I still got Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman Robin. I don't know why I have to do that one, but I'm going to do it. And then, of course, I got the Superman quadrilogy to do. And, of course, Superman Returns and Man of Steel. Of course, I'm going to do all those. And, of course, I am going to do the Adam West Batman movie, too. But it might be out of order, but I'm still going to do it. If I don't get to Adam West Batman before Batman v Superman comes out, I'll do it after. I promise I'll do it after. Or sometime afterwards. I'll do that. But, yeah. Got a lot of things coming up. I got Daredevil coming up. I'm going to do it. Probably going to try to do, you know, a review for that Netflix show. That thing was awesome, so can't wait for number 2 to start this Saturday. So yeah, so let me know what you think about this Batman movie, and leave a comment below. And thank you very much, and have a good day.